Yo, chicks.
Yeah, yes.
It's all good.
Checking
Stream's
it
up.
now.
Alright, and we're off. Alright, guys, so the game is launching. This is the first game of the finals of the TAD tournament. Garja versus Boneng.
Yeah, and just go ahead and give yourself a quick introduction here. So essentially, I'm Chicks, and there's no delay on the stream, and I should be able to help commentate with 7-Up. 7-Up is from the community of Age of Mythology with pkclan, and he's came to Age of Empires 3 to help stream these games since Vinny wasn't able to be with us this weekend. Okay, so as we know, Great Plains is the first map of the pool. We're looking at both sides of the map here, and it looks quite even. Got hunts. Hunts look okay for both players. Both players do have 2 gold mines as well, so that's good. Although Garja has 1 forward mine, while Boneng has a backwards mine and a mine to his side. Other than that, it looks pretty good. They both started out with a trade post. And I think Garja will make it on his first hit. On his second trade post there.
Alright, guys.
And it looks like Garja is going for that 140 food, I believe. You just scroll your mouse over the treasure, you should be able to see what that amount is. Okay. And we can tell Gaia is still, it's pronounced Gaia, but I like to pronounce it Garja.
Oh, is it pronounced Gaia?
That's his pronunciation. The name's Italian, actually.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we should be calling him what he pronounces as.
Yeah. Fair enough. So we see here that after he's, they're both just setting up their houses now with their starting travois.
Alright, tell me, give me the down low of this matchup on this map. What are we gonna see happen? And,
Okay, what I'm expecting to see. Okay, so it's the Iroquois mirror. I'm expecting, you know, to age up as fast as possible. Especially since you got 140 food treasure, that's absolutely essential. You age up before your opponent. Set up that forward travois, because you age up with the travois, you put in the forward, you send the 4 Kenyas, you start raiding your opponent, you contain him, and essentially he's going to be put on the defensive. You know what I'm saying? When you age it up before your opponent, that right away gives you the edge.
yeah, of course. And all these treasures, they provide an advantage over your opponent. So if you're able to get that over your opponent, you sustain the advantage. And
Oh, you got it, man. And 95 wood is actually quite a bit. It's yeah. So Gaia, he's got 140 food. If you just press page up there on your keyboard, you should be able to see the past treasures. And Boneng, he just got 95 wood. Those are 2 big treasures.
Yep.
Gaia also got 70 coin.
So now these treasures are different resources. Could we be seeing sort of different strategies that evolve around that?
Well, strategies around 140 food, I can tell you right now.
Advancing quicker.
To age up as fast as possible. Now with the 95 wood, that definitely helps because all your units are food and wood in the classical age for the for age 2 for the Iroquois. So yeah, and absolutely, guys, the resources on top. I imagine that helps for watching.
Yeah, it's a nice little mod. Hopefully, it's updating like it's supposed to. It looks all good.
Quite accurate, yeah.
All good so far. So we see a longhouse,
awesome.
By Gaia here.
Both players are now in age 2. And if you scroll to the middle of the map, they should be setting up their war huts now.
Yep, sure. Both players have their war huts up. Now, Boneng is...
And they're rather very, very close to each other, although
Yeah,
Boneng has
Boneng has a few units out here.
Guardian there that will just take some damage off that war hut in building. I guess.
Yeah, any damage that you can do to your opponent's building without sustaining damage to yourself is definitely a plus.
It's definitely a plus, yeah, and it's nice, you know. The buildings, they have no defense while they're going up, so. And we just see Boneng just shipping in his tomahawk. Is that a shipment? Okay, now that's the shipment. He made 5, shipped 6. And will he take down that war hut?
It looks like Guy that doesn't have a lot of units here, but the units come out here to defend the hut, but it does go down, and the units keep bumping out here. So,
ouch! That is definitely a tough situation for Gaia. Although he did manage to pop out his units from the war hut before it did go down.
yep,
so.
he managed to get them out here, so has a little bit of micro-intensive fight here.
Yeah, I'm very happy for what happened here. I mean, he just took down the war hut just in time, and then on top of that, he just managed to get his units out, his shipment, and the 5 Aena that he made. That counters a tomahawk. Now, Boneng, he was rushing a bit too much. I mean, he decided to ship tomahawk and make tomahawk to take down his war hut. Though he did lose all his army to Aena, so.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, was the trade-off worth it?
Well, Boneng lost his army, and Gaia lost his war hut. Was it worth it?
You always got to be thinking about in the game, is what you're doing worth the trade-off you're getting? So a war hut for the units lost, it might not have been worth it.
It's the same, to be honest with you, but at this point, it's definitely not worth it. As we've seen here, Boneng just shipped his 4 Kenyas, and Gaia had his Aenas towards his war hut, and so they got picked off very easily. Tomahawk are heavy infantry, and Aenas are archers, essentially 7-up. And we just have the Kenyans, yeah, just picking off the war chief from behind there. And of course, Boneng just looks like that was a shipment of Aena, I believe. Yeah, it should be. Now, can you just check the decks of these players?
Yep.
Click on the, yeah. I do believe their decks should be very similar in standard. Okay, fair enough. And check Boning's deck.
Yep, sure.
Although there is a quick battle here going on, so you might want to capture that.
Yeah, we'll get back to the battle. Try not to miss any fights here that's going on. It looks like Boneng is retreating from this location.
Yeah, there was a small or just a small scuffle, I guess you could say there. Now, can you just go into the post game and view map again?
Yep, sure.
I think that should fix the...
Yeah, the bird bug. We don't want to be hearing those birds all game, do we?
Okay, there we go. Alright, so as we can see here, Gaia, he loves his Aenas.
Yep, he's doing a very good job at doing some micro, picking off a few units at Boneng, so that's definitely a win for him there.
And it does look like Gaia does have the bigger mass here, so Boneng did have to go back. He shipped his 600 wood shipment.
Yep, he is sitting on 46 of 55, whereas Boneng 32 of 40. And Guy just picking off, he might get another unit here.
Well, it wasn't an obvious trade-off, because when you start out Tomahawk and your opponent starts off Aena, you're using the Tomahawk to siege the war hut, but then you're stuck with Tomahawk as a start, where Gaia started out with Aenas. So it was definitely a trade-off where he lost his army, plus he destroyed a war hut. Earlier, and especially Gaia had his archers and his army still left standing. So.
Yep, Boneng just switching, splitting up his army a little bit, just trying to raid, trying to see, okay, what are you doing? Is there any place that I can attack you, kill some villagers
Yeah,
here?
definitely. Raiding is an important part in this game here. Although I don't think they built a stable at this point. He was trying to herd in that deer though, was denied. Okay, so Bonning has a stable and just sending in his Kenyas, and I believe red player has a stable as well.
Yep. He also has the Kenyan horseman.
Okay, yeah, Gaia should definitely be careful on his war chief. Very good. Very good work here by Gaia. He does have a bigger mass still than.
Yeah, he is microing
Bonning,
correctly
but
with
Bonning
that war
is still
chief
sending
onto
in
the
more,
horseman.
Kenyas, so he's going to stick in this battle until the Kenyas are dead, and then perhaps go back. Yeah. So as we can see, the resource counter at the top there, Bonning is stacking a bit on food here. He does manage to pick off a villager as he was sieging that war hut. And the scores at the top, I just want to mention, the scores is 70 to 86, and the last two numbers are a decimal. So it's 71.99, and Gaia has 88.39.
Yeah, and as we do see, Gaia's score jumped quite up here, now 94 to the 72 of Boneng. Yeah. So nice
Okay,
raid going
guys.
on here. A nice raid going on here by Gaia. He's picking off. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. He might get 4 vills here.
Yeah, that's definitely very nice. I mean, he's lucky to find the villagers on wood there as well. I'm not sure why he would put his villagers on wood like that, exposed.
Yeah, it seems a bit exposed location. Just asking to get a few villas killed there. And his army wasn't occupying the enemy's army, so what you got to be thinking is, okay, he can, if my vills are exposed and I don't know where his army is, I'm going to be in trouble. But a nice counter raid going on by Boning here. Doesn't manage to kill a vill, it looks like, but damaged quite a few of them, caused some idle time. So one of the key things about playing RTS games, or this game in general, is you always want to know what your opponent's doing. You want to know where his army is. You want to know exactly where his army is, what he has in his army, and then you can
Definitely. And
make
that's the
a
mistake
decision.
a lot of other players make. You know, you always gotta know his unit composition, where his army is, his villagers, his economy, and that will just give you essentially the backhand of what's going on. Where can you hit his weak points? You know.
Yeah, and that is something that the players at this level, at this top level, execute very well.
Definitely, they're very
There's a
very
lot
well
of
aware
things
of
you can
this.
take for granted if you're not as good a player. Watching expert games, they just make it look so easy, but it's really not, guys.
Okay, so we see here Gaia is still making some more Aenas. Okay, so the other caster, guys, he's an Age of Mythology player. He does not play Age of Empires 3. He's doing just the camera work here and some casting while I cast with him as well. I'm Chicks. His name is he goes by 7up.
Hey
Okay,
guys.
so just let me focus on this battle here real quick. So as we see, this is a huge blow to Boneng. He got stuck while Gaia had a bunch of Kenyas. Boneng called it GG. Very unlucky there. And this was the problem that we were just talking about. You always got to know your unit composition of the opponent. If you only see a small army, more likely he's got another army stack somewhere, such as a bunch of cav just waiting for you while you come into his town, just so he can smash you. Get you
Yep.
in in a sandwich.
So what do we want to show at the post game here? What do people want to see?
Yeah, so go ahead, show resources, economy,
Yep.
timeline, villagers.
Yep, sure.
Villager count.
So units killed 6646. Now that mostly had to do with the last battle there that Boneng just said, okay, my army's trapped, I can't fight. He just gave up micro and GG'd. But you can see that the units killed were more so, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. And you want to show that villager count as well in the timeline.
Yeah, sure. It looks like Boneng just flatlined there for a minute or so. Or just a few seconds here, but the villager count was a little bit higher.
Just wasn't able to keep up resource-wise. I mean,
yeah, he was running low on food here.
You can tell here that that he lost way too many villagers, and then he had to send the 4 villager card earlier than his opponent. His opponent never sent the 4 villager card until later, as we see an increase on the timeline there.
Okay, so now let me get this straight. The second map will be, and I have to give it to them as well.
That's correct. The second map is Segene. I believe Garja has this map. If he doesn't, you can go ahead and shoot it for him. So guys, this is the finals of the TED PK Clan tournament. It's quite the prize pot on the line here. It is the best out of 11. Can you go ahead put that scoreboard on the top there, 7-Up?
Yeah, sure.
Give it a 1-0 for Gaia here.
Okay.
The winner gets 60% of the available pot, so it's estimated to be around 2,000 USD.
Sorry, what was the map again? What map here?
Segene. PKT Segene.
Dude, you gotta fix that phone there, buddy.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay. PKT Sagani, so that will be the second map. Let me just get the scoreboard set up for you guys so you can, if you're just tuning in, you can tell exactly what the score is, or if you...
Yeah, and definitely what's going on. So it's around 2,000 USD in the tournament pot, and the first place winner gets 60%, and the second place does get 20%. It's estimated. Could be 2,000, could be more, a little less. Of course, I want to mention it's not affiliated with Microsoft. It's hosted with us and the JP community, the Japanese community. And I'm co-hosting this with Shimraz.
Hey, wake up.
Now, obviously, you want to make sure that doesn't get in the way of the UI.
Yeah, sure. So where's a good place to put it? Why don't you just...
I'd say top in the middle. If you just make it small enough, it should fit right there. Middle of the UI.
Yep.
And just take out the icons and just make it a little smaller.
Okay. So guys, I can change the scoreboard at any time you want.
Anytime they want, I guess.
And yeah,
ends up winning the game, I guess. We'll change the scoreboard for you. So.
Well, anytime you want. You know, I'm not watching the stream, so you gotta tell me.
Okay, and click the blank one. Click on the clear blank icon.
Yeah, sure. We'll just Okay. And let me just get an invite to the game here. We'll have the, it looks like I transferred the maps over, so we'll have that custom UI as well for you guys on these maps. And let me just get the invite here. and we'll have the second game underway. Okay.
So guys, this is the finals, the PK Clan tournament. It is 1-0 already, as displayed in the scoreboard. And you might want to change the colors for the scoreboard as well. So it looks like Gaia is going to be red in this one.
Yep, sure thing. Sure thing.
Taking A is the second map of the pool. And by the looks of it, we're going to be having an Ottoman mirror. Oh, Portuguese. Quite surprising. Okay, so the other caster is Pecker. That's 7-Up. He's from the PK Clan.
Hey
He
guys.
does not play Age of Empires 3. He plays Age of Mythology. He's just doing the camera work for everyone here tonight.
Yep,
Vinny VC was not able to be with us this weekend.
Mr.
And so we've
Vinny.
decided that after some tests, he would be doing the camera.
Yep, guys. I commentate and cast 1v1 expert games for Age of Mythology. I have a lot of fun doing that, and so here I am giving you guys what you want to see. So I'm the camera guy here, and just let me know what you want to see. What I'm here for you. I'm taking up your time, and so I want to do whatever I can, whatever's possible for you to see.
Yeah, definitely, to bring you guys the best content. So it looks like you're receiving quite a few messages in ESO. You want to just click on Garja there, see if you got any concerns or questions.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I gave him a few maps, but we'll get everything sorted out. I was joking about the My Little Ponies online, by the way.
Yeah, it's quite a good joke there, 7-Up.
You know what? I try.
I must say so myself. Okay, so we have an interesting match. Portuguese versus Germany. It's something we don't see too often. Of course, these are considered the lower tier civilizations.
All right, and we have off the second game of the finals here, Gaia versus Boneng on the map Here we have
on the map Saguenay, yes.
Saguenay, yep. Spawning in the left-hand corner, the blue player, Boneng. On the right-hand side, Garja as the red player. Playing the Germans versus Portuguese.
Also, you want to make the scoreboard a little smaller and make sure you do press F1, F2. The second back gold? I don't see it. The red player have a second back gold?
Nope, he does not. He does not have any mine back here. He just has the one in front of his TC and the one up closer up here. So he doesn't have a second back gold. Both of his forward. The blue player, Boneng here, has the side mine here and a back mine. So that will be definitely a starting advantage for the blue player.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it looks like Guy,
especially since he's Germany. Germany takes up a lot of gold in this game.
Guy has got the treasure here, 90 coin.
Yeah, that's definitely nice. That can help research hunting dogs if he hasn't already, or build a market to buy wood to build that house. Whatever the case, it's a nice treasure to have as Germany. As any civ for that matter. Now, Germany doesn't usually start out with a market, so even small treasures like that can change the start of the game for him. Now, since Germany doesn't have many mines, I mean, he has a forward mine, and his second mine is even more forward. I'm not sure if he's going to do a gold-heavy kind of unit composition in the later game. I don't think we'll be expecting something like that. For the time being, since it's Germany versus Portuguese, we could be seeing a start with some a cav start. An eco cav start, so Boneng would be, or Gaia would be sending the 3 settler wagons, getting those Yulins out, maybe doing a 10 Yulin semi-fast fortress. Essentially, that's something that's definitely viable. Portuguese could do a couple things as well. He could... Portuguese player could essentially go water here. They could age up with their second TC by their forward hunt, although not sure about Boning's. Boneng actually has a pretty good map. I mean, he's got 2 mines, a side and a back mine, and he's got 3 hunts. They're smaller, but he does have a starting hunt, 2 others, and his other hunt.
Yeah, no, Guy has discovered this new treasure here, 150 food. Now that's got to be big.
Yeah, definitely. That's another nice treasure. There was 2 grizzly bears on there.
A polar bear.
Two polar bears, right? And it's a rather easy treasure to get. You pick off one, and then you just fight the other one, leave, come back, whatever the case. All right. So guys, it is Portuguese versus Germany. So it's a very interesting match here. Anything could happen, really. Portuguese could even do a rush, musketeer rush. They could do a water boom. Okay, it looks like it's definitely going to be a water boom now.
Yeah, we see the dock up for Boneng, so he's looking to capitalize on that fish economy.
Absolutely. And he's probably just going to play defensive this game here. And Boneng is very well known for that. He's very good with the water, very good at booming. One of the top players doing it.
So we see, yeah, sorry to interrupt you, but a 415 Colonial here.
Yeah, a 415 Colonial. So essentially, that's very good by Boneng. He did hurt in his hunts, as we've seen by his town center. He does have quite a few hunts there. And apparently Germany is doing some kind of a tower. Can't say a tower rush. That tower is essentially to stop him from water, because Gaia has already scouted his dock. Now, perhaps it could be a tower rush. Maybe he could go and be building the tower and a racks next to it as well. As for the Portuguese player, they normally always age up first before any other civilization, because they always age out with the town center and they tend to get that TC up first. Alright, looks like Boneng is attempting to wall here, just in front of his barracks. And that's a triple dock spam. Wow. That's quite impressive. Now,
yeah, it looks like this wall is falling for Boneng here.
Yeah, and as we see here, Gaia is just getting in the way of the wall, just so he could deny Boneng from building it. Very smart move. Now, the triple dock boom is quite impressive by Boneng. I mean, I consider this map quite open. However, he does have quite a few trees there, just to make things a little more complicated for the German player in terms of attempting to harass him. Whenever you have a bunch of trees and just a town center and some hunts, it's just hard to get around with the pathing issues, with the cav and the units, etc., to get between the trees.
Yeah, and we see some crossbowmen by Guy here, looking to see what he can find, any villagers he can pick off. What can he do here with these units?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what Guy is essentially doing. He just wants to scout the area, find out exactly what he's doing. I don't even think at this point Gaia knows that he's fish booming. Not that I'm not 100% sure on that, but I don't think Gaia knows he's fish booming.
Yeah, these are a lot of fishing ships here.
I think so, but there's no 100% on that until he's actually scouted the docks. Okay, at this point, the crossbow did scout the docks, and so it's quite clear to Gaia that he is going to be booming. Though he only scouted one dock, so he thinks he's doing just kind of a small boom, not too of a heavy kind of thing. And so Gaia would continue to make crossbow with one racks, and of course that forward tower helps to keep any ships from any warships, caravels for example, to come close to his army and pick off the war hut and the crossbows. Now Gaia's doing an okay job here, making some crossbows and essentially just harassing the villagers, popping them in and out of the town center. That's more of a psychological thing. Most definitely, it was in the back of, it would be in the back of your head, knowing of Boning's past play on water maps, that he would water boom every single time. But you don't want to give that psychological effect to your opponent. You always want to make sure. And so, he went to scout those docks just to be sure that he's actually indeed water booming. Now, of course, you could also tell because Portuguese, they never really made any army. Just villages, town centers, and docks. And when you notice something like that, either the Portuguese player is fortressing or he's boat booming. And so it is important always to be scouting your opponent to find out exactly what shipments he's sending, his unit composition, his military buildings.
Sure, definitely. Just in short, you just want to be knowing, okay, what is your opponent doing, and then what can I do to capitalize on what he's doing? And it's exactly. it's key to winning this game, as we do see a few raids going back here with the Ulan of the red player Gaia.
I mean, the crossbow and the Ulan are doing a good job just putting Boneng off resources. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, he's forcing a lot of idle time. You might be saying he's not killing that many villagers, but he's forcing a lot of idle time, which prevents Boneng from gathering resources, as well as being a pest on multiple fronts. So very good job at doing what he's wanting to do here by Gaia.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he just keeps going back and forth, just to keep Boneng inside of his TCs. Even if it's one crossbow, he's just putting those villagers off resources. This is the goal. Now, I'm hoping he doesn't take too much damage. The score is 113 to 105, as we see at the top of the scoreboard here. And German player is stacking up a little bit on food and gold.
Yeah, why don't I just take a look at the decks here real quick. Fortress Age up for Gaia.
Yeah, that's definitely to be expected. So, because Gaia is essentially, he only made a few units, just some crossbow and free Ulons that he got from shipments, and so he'll be using those Ulons just to be harassing his opponent, keeping him off resources, and seeing what's what, who's who, kind of thing, you know?
Yep, and some walls going up here for Boneng in front of his town center here. But it looks like there is a little gap there. The Ulan was able to sneak in a little bit.
This is CMM. He could have scouted it earlier. I didn't notice it myself. I wasn't 100% sure whether he scouted the docks or not. I did mention that in my commentary. If he did scout it earlier, good on him. Very smart play.
Yep.
No, now we see Gaia just making a dock for himself. Perhaps he could be making some frigates, shipping a frigate of his own, and perhaps harassing some the fishing boats on the water there. Now,
Yep,
Gaia's
sure
not
thing.
doing bad, actually. He's not doing bad at all with those skirmishers and those Ulans, just essentially just picking off villagers.
Yeah, he's
Ooh,
forcing
and
a
he just-
lot of idle time
and
here.
He gets that TC, as usual. I don't think he'll be able to take down that TC. Most definitely not, because Gaia just does not have enough units. I really love how Boneng is playing, though. Very well done here. I just wish Gaia had more units to take out that TC there.
He is killing a few villagers trying to produce the walls here to protect his town center. And we have a war battle over here. A war battle, I mean a water battle. Of course.
Yeah, the frigate is already half health. Needs to be careful, and that frigate, I do believe, from the best of my knowledge, was sent from a shipment. Otherwise, he made it. Now, as we see here, Boneng has just an absolute massive amount of boats on the water, and for him to choose Portuguese with this much money on the line, I just find it unbelievable that he'll do something like this. But at the same time, Boneng excels on water maps, and so I think he felt very, very comfortable to pick a civilization like Portuguese.
Yep, and he was able to take down a frigate. So
yeah, he was able to take down a frigate. That's because of the town center fire of Boneng.
yep. And Gaia here just trying to be a pest, but the walls are up here, so at least this location here is secured from a lot of raids, but not a lot of units for Gaia to come in here. I think he's investing more in wall as he is making 2 Lydia.
Just give you guys a quick background of the casters and what's happening here. I'm Chix, administrator of the tournament. Camera guy is 7up. He's an Age of Mythology player.
Hey guys.
Just doing the camera work here for us in this series.
Cool.
BC wasn't able to show up this weekend.
Yep, sorry about it, but I'm here. I'm here to the rescue, guys. I'm here to give you what you want to do for the live coverage of this game and an English commentary.
Most definitely.
That's what we got going on.
Okay, so we got some doppels and we got some skirmishers, and of course Gaia does have massive 4 trade posts, and it is an upgraded trade route.
And Boneng has reached the industrial age.
I'm absolutely stunned to see Boneng pull off an industrial age this well. I mean, I'm just hoping he doesn't. He didn't lose too many villagers.
A lot of villagers are being lost right now as he microed them out of this location.
Ouch.
Here.
Yeah, that's definitely not good. I mean, I'm not sure why he's backing them back and forth in front of that market there.
Yep.
They just kept him behind, knowing that he had the army in the front.
Definitely might have been just a pathing issue, maybe a micro that the villagers came out in front of there.
Okay, Boneng just making a frigate, I believe, and just putting that 4th town center by the water. And he hasn't picked up his 1,000 gold yet. Boneng is stacking up a bit on gold. I guess that could be because of the, and he hasn't even gathered from his age up treasure yet.
Just some Oolons just camping this mine out here.
Yeah, definitely. And those doppels look scary. I'm telling you, they look very, very scary. I'm hoping he doesn't pick off those 3 Uhlans. Okay, he didn't scout them. That's good.
Some raid going in for Boneng with the Dragoon.
I haven't really seen this composition before. I mean, Doppels, Skirmisher, and I mean, I know Doppels, they're, I understood they take a long time to train, they're expensive.
As he does get the Explorer pretty for free pretty much here.
Yeah.
And attacking the trading post, but decides to move on. What else can I kill? What else can I raid here? And this army by Garja cutting off these units.
That's essentially what you're doing, Dragoon. Just going around the map, just seeing what you can do.
Yep.
He needs to be careful though. He doesn't get in the way of the Doppels, because those things will rip them apart.
Yep. The two Dragoons did die there.
Look at the area damage. They got a bunch of area damage. Ouch. Even one hit on those things. You've seen quite a few of them drop. Now, you can micro them, but you can't micro them when you got Skirmisher and Ulan.
Yeah, Boneng losing all but one. He might even lose all of them. He loses all of the Dragoons there. Without killing maybe a single unit from Garja. So well played by him.
Yeah, Garja's doing very well this game. He does have 4 trade posts, and that's definitely helping him to boost his economy. Now we see here Boneng.
Oh, now he comes out.
And it looks like he's about to finish all the fish, and he's just deleting his extra fishing boats now. And that's a nice bunch of canoes there.
Yeah, that's a lot of canoes popping out here in the fray.
Well done there. And Garja, I think he was well prepared for this. I think he was very well prepared, knowing that he was against Boneng. Boneng loves sea booming. I can only tell this is going to be a very close game. Any map, when person sea booms, goes on the defensive. It's just dragged out, dragged out, dragged out. And this is the way Boneng loves to play. I mean, is it a good idea? Well, the water is definitely something that could help out the Portuguese economy. And versus the Germany tower rush, well, Garja knew that Boneng was going to fish boom apparently, according to his past gameplay. So he does. Boneng does now have 2 heavy cannons and a Dragoon, a very good unit composition.
A veteran Dragoon, nonetheless.
Veteran Dragoon, so he hasn't got age 4 Dragoon at this point. Now those heavy cannons are excellent versus boats, buildings.
Definitely, they're doing a lot of work to those. Just a one shot to almost 1/5 of the damage there, and the cannon gets lucky with the hit there. Nice job by Boneng there to kill a few units.
Yeah, very quick reaction. I mean, we even seen one hit knocked out a few skirmishers. Quite a big deal there, because everything matters at this point. The game is so close. And Garja really needs to pick up his army. He's got culverins, as we just seen there. Skirmishers to pick off the goons, culverin for the cannons. And whatever unit composition that Boneng comes up with, Gaia just needs to work around it. You know, if Boneng sends his Mameluke, Gaia's got the Doppels for that. And that's what the Doppels are for. Just Mameluke shipment anytime. Also, Doppels are nice to trap. That's a lot of Culverin now that I think about it. I mean, I've only saw 2 Culverin, but that's a ton of Culverin. And Boneng looks like he's still making some more heavy cannons there. And we see the two Yulins on the other side, and Boneng is just walling up, trapping himself in, water booming. And Boneng is in trouble. He lost a lot of goons, took a lot of damage. Can't really tell exactly. Yeah, he did lose quite a few goons actually, and he lost all his heavy cannons to Culverin. Now, he really needs to save those goons for the Culverin. He really needs to save those goons for the Culverin and not have those heavy cannon in sight of the Culverin. It's very tricky micromanagement here. Now we see here more towers, which are the anti-boats of the water. They're by Gaia. And just those Yulins that were on the TP shot off by Boneng there. So what do you think of the game so far, 7-Up?
It's a pretty exciting game so far. I think it's pretty close. The fact that Boneng did take water, he does have that extra economy, but Gaia
Don't you
doing...
think he's trapping himself a little bit there? I think he should be okay with the trees. Apparently, Gaia has already taken hunts outside his base, all the way outside his base by Boneng's base. So Boneng his only chance at this point is just to finish the hunts, whatever hunts he's got left in his base, and just start farming and back on the plantations.
Yeah,
a starting plantation.
Boneng does scout these hunting villagers out here with his explorer, so he might send some units to go and deal with them, try to pick off some few units. These settlers are very exposed out in this location, and it looks like these dragoons are just going to come over and try to do some damage to these settlers. A little bit unlucky for Gaia. He scouted that the settler was in vision, but not losing too much, but being kicked off of that hunt patch there.
Yeah, and essentially what that explorer is doing is just slowing down the units. Alright. This battle is quite intensive. He does have H4 goons now, and I feel that Gaia needs a much bigger skirmisher count to deal with all these goons and the heavy cannon, because if you don't have enough skirmishers, those goons can just pick off the Culverin no problem, and the heavy cannon will be in full action.
User left your channel.
So it looks like Guy is complaining in the chat about there not being any sound here, so he needs to be careful in this fight. Both players need to be careful. that they micro correctly, because this next big battle that comes up will decide the advantage of who has the advantage and who can press that advantage on each player. As Gaia's Explorer does get microed down by those units. Guy's just splitting up his forces, saying, okay, I'm gonna see you coming before see you coming so that I can react the fastest possible and micro properly. Now he is moving in with a lot of units. He does have these culverins in the back here.
User
He needs to be
joined
careful
your channel.
that the Dragoon don't come out and spot them out in the open here, because they can do a lot of damage, and they just did pick off one right there. They might get another one.
Yeah, very, very tricky micro play here, and that's definitely a massive amount of heavy cannons. I love the placement of the Dragoons right now. He needs to be careful with the Doppels though. I don't like the Doppel placement by Gaia. He should have had them in front of the Culverin.
Yeah, Boneng just picking off a lot of units and says, GG, I lost this fight. I can't win this game, and he resigns.
Yeah, he lost way too many Doppels in that last fight there. Well done by both players. Boneng just had so much gold from the sea. He was able to spam those heavy cannons and Dragoons no problem. It's essentially the best combination you can have, cannons and anti-cav. It's very hard to micro against. I mean, Gaia was using skirmishers, Doppels, and Culverin. It's a 3-unit composition versus a 2-unit composition, but that 2-unit composition was better because Doppels are hand attack, and cannons can just essentially beat 2 of the 3 units in that composition of the opponent. So,
Sure thing. Let's just take a quick look at the post game here.
yeah, Boning's economy was just essentially better. He had a better villager count, better resource count. He had the water for quite a long time, so that makes it 1-1.
Yep, quite a bit more coin and food gathered, only lacking in wood, but that wasn't the deciding issue as we saw in this game. So is there a way just to go back to the game, or do I have to be invited every time? Chicks.
Essentially, you would just send them the map. The third map is
Yeah, I think I've already sent them the
Siberia.
map.
So send them the PKT Siberia map.
We'll see if he already has it. We'll just send a quick message and get the map for the players so we can continue to have that custom UI.
User left your channel.
So it looks like Siberia will be the next game. Game 3 of the finals here. Yo, chicks.
User joined
All right,
your
and
channel.
question for you: do you have the TeamSpeak sounds where somebody joins and leaves?
Yep, I can change that, set it off.
Yeah, you definitely want to turn that off.
Yeah, how do you do that real quick?
Just go to self, sound pack, sounds deactivated.
Alright, great. Sorry about that, guys. That's a pretty annoying sound, I admit. But we got that turned off now, so that's a plus.
Okay, quick overview, guys. I'm going to be leaving soon. I'm just a commentator here with 7-Up. 7-Up is replacing Vini Vidi Vici. Fortunately, he wasn't able to make it this weekend.
Hey
And
guys,
so,
I'm the camera guy.
7-Up, he's just with the Age of Mythology team of PK Clan. He does not play Age of Empires 3. So I'm going to be leaving the commentary, and somebody else is going to be joining in to
All
help
right,
him out
cool.
with that.
Who is that?
I'm going to bring him in here.
All right, cool.
So I hope you guys been enjoying so far. The score is 1-1 so far at this point. The first map was Iroquois Mir. The second was Portuguese versus Germany. I mean, Boneng really does very well on these water maps. He's got it down on pack, you know what I'm saying? He's really been doing well. We've seen in the past stages of this tournament, he's pretty much came out on top on almost every water matchup. He would just do the water boom, get his economic management going properly. Sorry about that. He just manages his economy very, very well with the water and knows how to do it. He excels at it. And we just seen in the last match, though, that he played Portuguese. He was so confident that he picked Portuguese and managed to come up on top. Very impressive play.
Yep, and here we go for the third match of this series here, the finals. We have spawning in the bottom of the map, Gaia as the red player playing as the French. At the top of the map, we do have Boneng as the blue color playing as the Japanese. The score is tied 1-1. Of course, the map is Siberia. Boneng has got that 50 wood treasure there.
All right, guys. So definitely Siberia is the third map of the pool here. You want to press F1, F2 there, 7-Up.
Yep, sure, got it.
Excellent, excellent. So the hunts are looking pretty good here, especially the mines. Gaia has one starting mine right there next to him on the left side, and one backwards mine. And so does Boneng. He has one mine close and one back mine. And the hunts look quite plentiful for both players, although better for Boneng than Gaia. Gaia does have 3 other hunts around him that he can herd.
So it looks like the scout here of Boneng is just going for this treasure here. He's building a shrine right away here. So both players just going around the map, nothing special here, gaining the treasures, pretty standard.
Okay, guys. So I got Voodoo the Boss here. He's going to be doing the commentary with 7-Up. I'm going to be heading out, so I do believe Voodoo the Boss should do a very good job here. He's very well experienced with the game, and hopefully you guys will enjoy. Thanks very much, and we'll see you later.
Yeah, good thing. See you around, chicks.
Alright, hello guys. As Chick said, I'm Voodoo Boss. I've been playing the game almost since its release in 2007. I haven't been very active over the past couple of years, but I've been keeping up to date with all the tournament stuff, and during my peak rating I was about ranked top 20 in the world, so I feel like I can bring something to this commentary.
Yeah, sure. Definitely more experience than I have here, but I'm just the humble camera guy trying to give people what they want.
Well, you're doing a fantastic job so far. So this is actually a really good matchup. Boneng versus Garja, France versus Japan and Siberia. Obviously, Japan is considered to be a very strong civilization, but in good hands, France can definitely hold their own. So yeah, Garja is going for is that Garja? Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, Boneng found a good wood treasure, which is really good for Japan, given they have to get some shrines early on and they need wood for that. So it's definitely a good start for Boneng. But can you go back to his explorers? I think he might have lost one. Yes, he did. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it looks like.
Yeah, Garja is going for an early trade post, and he's got a market as well, which is good. Oh, not early. Sorry, he's aging up to colonial. But I'm curious to see what kind of strategies we'll see here. It looks like Garja might be going for a semi-fast fortress, and Boneng does have the Portuguese consulate, which means he will be going for a very strong shrine boom. So this is definitely an interesting matchup, and we should see this go quite a while into fortress and such.
Yeah, so it's been a pretty exciting series so far. The score is tied at 1-1. This is the third game, so we'll see if who can come out on top on this game.
Yeah, so Boneng as well is going for a trade post. This is quite deviating from the standard. Most Japanese players at this high level pretty much go all shrines non-stop. So this is definitely new. Garja is going for a second trade post, which is, again, kind of new for France. For a long time, the standard France build order did not include trade posts, but this is something that has gained quite a bit of popularity recently, especially with good speed in H2O. Alright, we have a Rax going up from Boneng already. And can we head over to Garja's base for a sec?
Yep.
Okay, so Garja is making pikemen. And,
he is making pikemen out of the one barracks that he has as well. So he has quite a few pikemen here on the front heading over to Boneng's base.
Yep. So what we will probably start seeing is Garja will use these pikemen to harass.
Yep, it looks like they're
out the way.
Yep, it looks like they're beelining for this trading post that was already scouted out by the explorer from Gaia.
Yeah, and we did see Garja also ship in 700 wood. So he'll probably be using that to boom it home and probably grab that third trading post after he takes it down. But if Boneng can get some Ashigaru or some Yumi out, we should start to see some...
Yep, he's got 5 Yumi archers on the way out of that barracks unit, so the pikemen are going to have to run out of this location before they can kill the trading post. So a nice defense by Boneng here, having the right units to defend from this raid.
We also have noticed just now that the trade post has been upgraded. So again, it really does look like Garja is going to try and go for the trade post room, but I don't think he's got an easy way to get rid of these Yumi archers. Can we head back to his base? He might have a stable going up or something.
We just see the barracks so far.
There seems to be a bit of a delay in the
Yeah,
the
there's
stream.
by default there's a 5 or 6 second delay that Twitch has on their stream, so that's why you might have a little bit of delay from what I'm looking at. Unfortunately, that is the downside from commentating from the stream.
Yeah, no, I understand. All right, so at this point in time, I would probably give the edge to Boneng because Garja has wasted a lot of resources in trying to get that trade post down, and even if he gets it, he has sacrificed a lot of time, and Boneng's economy has really come out ahead. Can we have a look at Boneng's deck? So for that, I believe you hit F6 and
Yep, sure.
Yeah, there's really a strong delay with the stream. Yeah, so look, Boneng has shipped his 4 villages already, and he'll probably start shipping them again soon. And as you can see, he's just really, really booming across the map. And his economy will really take strong. And I would have probably liked to have seen Garja either, you know, do a semi-fast fortress or almost a straight fast fortress, because he's really wasted a lot of time. And if Boneng can get his economy rolling, it'll be really, you know, being in fortress won't really help Garja too much. So I really would have liked to have seen him go straight fortress, but unfortunately he didn't.
So at this point, who has the advantage in this game?
I would probably give the advantage to Boneng just because he simply got a really strong economy, and Garja wasted a lot of time simply running around the map with pikemen.
Yep, he is taking down the shrine here.
Yes, he is, but at this point in time, even if Boneng loses a couple of shrines, it's only 75 wood, and it won't make much of a difference in his economy. And if Boneng does get to Fortress, which I'm not sure how the UI works, it looks like he's on the way there.
Yep, the UI is the resource
yes,
counter. It's yep. The resources are updated every 5 seconds.
Yeah, but he is on the way to Fortress Age, which is gonna be hard for Garja. But Garja did get out some cuirassays, and cuirassay skirmisher is an extremely strong combo, so he might be able to do some damage if he pushes ASAP. If he waits around too much though, it will be bad. But he definitely could do some damage if he tries to push now. Boneng is, however, pushing with his own little force down the side of the map, and that could buy him some time. He seems to just be going after the pikemen that were sieging his shrine. It looks like, however, his army will get caught out in the open here, and just destroyed. So, but he does have a decent amount of Ashigaru, but so he might be able to do some damage. He does get away though. By the way, to all people watching, I'm sorry if there's a bit of a delay in the commentary, but there seems to be a slight delay in the stream, and there's not much I can do about that.
So what do you think about the fact that Guy here has his pikemen taking out the shrines in the back and not full force in the front here? Is that good to split that up, or is this the time he needs to capitalize with the full push?
The pikemen won't do too much of a, you know, pikemen, their primary role is an anti-cavalry unit, so they won't do too much of damage against a Japanese player when Japanese players have a primarily infantry-based military composition. So what we'll see out of Boneng is a lot of Yumi and a lot of Ashigaru, which is what he should be making, because they're both very strong. So I think it's good that Garja is using his excess pikemen to kind of get shrines around the map, because shrines are both a house unit and an income unit, and Boneng will have to, you know, waste time and and resources and rebuilding the shrines. So it's definitely a good idea. But I feel like what we're going to see now, this push is going to be very decisive.
Yep, this push, it looks like it's going to decide the future of this game. These two falconets taking out that trading post there, and the ability, the potential to do a lot more damage depending on what each player wants to do here and how they want to play it.
Yeah, Garja does have a very good army going, and as you can see in population, it's a 96 population for Boneng and 109 population for Garja. So Garja not only has a very strong military composition of skirmishers and falconets and cuirassiers, but he's also got a lot of them, and Boneng will really have to, you know, pop out some units fast if he wants to hold back this army.
Yep, and it looks like they're coming out for the fight here, so it looks like this fight, depending on who wins this fight, is going to decide the game here, and it looks like it's favoring... It's hard to tell right now. It depends on the micro of these players here.
Yes, this is going to be a very close battle. This is quite... The falconets are down, which is very good, because falconets... Oh, one of them is still alive. But no, this battle does seem to be going Garja's way. Most of his cuirassiers are still alive. And his not getting that falconet is not good as well. He really should have tried to get that falconet. Well, now he got it. Again, sorry for the guys in the chat, because there is a bit of a delay in the stream, so I'm always a few seconds behind on the battle.
Yeah.
7up, you might want to take over the commentaries during the battles.
Yeah, I'll try and do that. You can talk about more of the general strategy sort of thing. But whatever. I mean, people understand the fact that it's delayed a little bit here, so it should be fine.
Can we have a look at both of their bases? So this is quite an interesting position, because Boneng is in a solid economic position. I'd say at this point in time the game is in Boneng's favor, because he does have a stronger economy. What Garja has made a second town center though, or is making one, which is good. But Boneng does have 2 town centers going, and he did ship the 4 villages, and he's really got a lot of shrines. So yeah, this is definitely not a decided game. What I'd like to see Boneng do is really keep up the pressure, but at the same time not commit too much, and really try and get a 3rd town center down. A 3rd town center would be fantastic. But what Boneng is doing right now, and is very good, is he's running Ashigaru around the map, and that'll be very, very difficult for Garja to deal with, because they're a fast unit, as in they walk quite quickly. So, and they're very strong against cuirassiers if you send the right card. So he can't just send in his cavalry, or he'll probably lose a large amount. So this is a very interesting game. Garja is putting down a 3rd town center, which is good, which is definitely what we'd like to see. So if he can, maintain a strong skirmisher cuirassier composition, then he definitely does have a chance. But he will have to find a long-term solution to this Ashigaru problem, because Boneng will spend the whole game running these units around his base.
Yeah, as Boneng does lose quite a few Ashigaru there for free. It doesn't look like he even killed a unit. He was just trying to get away, so it was a good semi-trap by Gaia here.
Yeah, definitely. It's a shame that he lost those Ashigaru, but as I think he's running some more down the side of the map. But Boneng's strategy at this point will literally be keeping Garja busy. Every minute that goes on, Boneng gets stronger, and although Garja's got 3 town centers, once Boneng gets to industrial age, he will be very strong, arguably stronger than the French. So it's really an interesting position, and I'd like to see how Garja plays against this. But at this point in time, it really does look like Boneng is just looking for time and really booming hard at home. And now he has a 3rd town center, so yeah, he's really going strongly for the boom.
Yep. Guy is just running some Cursiar. How do you pronounce that?
Curiosity. Well,
Cursay?
yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but
some French word, right?
yeah, it's a shame that Garja, he got a bit lucky. He left his skirmishers out in the open, but they might get away. Yeah, they got away. And unfortunately, Garja's raid is a bit unproductive, and Curasay's cost a lot of resources, 150 food.
Yeah, it's a
So I'm not
very
sure how
ineffective strategy there, and he's losing a lot of units for what looks like to be free. It just looks like he was trying to force his advantage by raiding and keeping his opponent busy, but he ended up losing a lot of units, which doesn't favor him.
Yes, he definitely did lose the Naginata riders, which is a shame. But again, Boneng is really getting a lot of time here, and with 3 town centers, I would like. At this point in time, though, I think it's really difficult to call who's in favor because they both have similar scores.
Well, here we come in for a big fight here. It depends on who wants to fight it here. A guy is just backing up a little bit, says, okay, I don't want to fight you. Boneng says, okay, fine, you know what, I'm just going to use this extra time. You don't want to fight me, I'm just going to boom off my town centers and increase my advantage that I have over you here. So at this point, what does Guy have to be thinking? How does he sees the town centers, so he has to be thinking, okay, the longer this game goes on, the bigger disadvantage I'm at. So what is he thinking right now?
A really good move for Garja in this position would be to really mix in some falconets and to push before Boneng gets to Industrial Age. I really feel that's the best way. Yes, Boneng can ship in the flaming arrows, which are an anti-cannon unit. But if he manages to push with some cannons, it could be very difficult for Boneng to deal with that. If Boneng does get to Industrial, it'll be very difficult for Garja to deal. But if Garja can, I feel like in late Fortress, around the time now, Garja does hold the military advantage. His skirmisher units are strong, they have the counter-infantry rifling upgrade, which means they do exceptionally well versus Ashigarus. And Curasays are very strong, so I feel like he does have the military edge, but he should capitalize on this. And as we can see now, Boneng is going industrial, and he's going industrial quite quickly. So, I really feel like this is an important time for Garja to push, because if Boneng gets consolidated in Industrial Age, it's very bad for him.
Yep, and the Industrial Age is up for Boneng, and Garja here decides to force his army here on this town center. Boneng says, okay, I don't have the army to deal with it. You know what, I just might have to let this town center take some damage here to recollect what I have and get back in the position in the battle that I want to fight. He says he just looks like he's sacrificing his town center. It will go down without a fight here. But this is this is much smarter for Boneng to do than rather go in and lose all his units. He says it's just a building here. You can take it. I'm just gonna take my time to fight the battle that I want to fight.
Absolutely, but Boneng I think is in a deceptively strong situation right now. If you look at the unit count, he's got 186 population, so he's basically maxed out. And if he upgrades his units, I'm not sure if he'll win the battle. I think Garja might win the battle, but his units will be replaced faster than Garja's will. His economy is stronger.
Yep.
And
so basically all he has to do is trade units and then outflood the other player because you have a stronger economy.
Can we go into the post game and have a look at the resources?
Yep, just a second here. I think a big battle is going down. There are 5 falconets here for Garja, so this could be a big moment for him to decide what goes on. And he does pick off a few Yumis there with those falconets.
Yep, it's very smart that Garja's pushing now. But Boneng has shipped in the flaming arrows, so as long as he maintains enough anti-cavalry to protect against the cuirassiers, then he should be able to neutralize the falconets.
Yep, he does have the flaming arrow that you were talking about. Has 7 of
Right.
those.
So in resources, Boneng is ahead.
Yep,
which
quite
is
far ahead.
not good. And that's actually a little bit surprising because Garja has all the map control. He has
Garja-
3 town centers.
Garja also has 200 population, sitting on 200. The Boneng 180 out of 200 right here.
I feel that Garja really has to win the next battle, and not just win the next battle. He has to win it without, having too much of an impact on his army. Because Boneng will be able to replace the units, and Ashigaru and Yumi are just so damn cost effective. They're really, really good, and it will be difficult for Garja to play out a long.
Yep, here we go, and some nice micro bolt by Boneng to take out those Falconet with the flaming arrow there, and Garja just losing a lot of units here. He does.
Yeah, this is definitely not good for Garja. Really not good. Yeah, no, I would be inclined to
Yep.
to say that.
Well, here we go. A spoiler, a 6-second spoiler. Garja has resigned.
All right, there we go. Bit more than 6 seconds. My game is still going.
Really?
Yep.
Is there a way you could refresh the stream and maybe it would?
Yeah, I'll just try reloading it. I will be back in 1 moment.
Wait. Before you go, what is the next map that is going to be played here?
Ooh, I think it's New England. Somebody correct me in the chat if I'm wrong.
Okay.
But I'm 99% certain it's New England. The players should know this. Anyway, I'll be back in a sec.
All right. All right, guys. So if you're still watching, hello. That was the 3rd game that just finished up. And we're gonna get the 4th game started as soon as possible here for you. The score is 1-2. Boneng having 2 wins. Let me just take a look at the chat here.
Alright, I'm back.
So it looks like I was kicked out of the ESO here for a second, but I managed to sign back in, so all is well.
I think this will be a good matchup. It's quite surprising that this is a best out of 11. This is going to go for a long time. But it's definitely good. I like the civilization rules. It really stops a lot of laming. But this is going to be a really nice match. Boneng really likes to go C, and New England is a good C map. It hasn't got nearly the amount of resources as Saguenay, but due to the narrow passes and the ponds, it is quite easy to turtle and really consolidate a strong economy and a strong position, and really easy to defend. So it'll be very cool to see how this game goes.
Yeah, definitely. So if anybody's tuning in, I'm 7up. I'm from the Age of Mythology community. I stream expert games, and I stream quite frequently those games. I am commentating, and I'm the camera guy here for the finals of the Age of Empires 3 tournament. So this is a pretty exciting tournament. It's had a good feedback. A lot of players coming out to watch the stream game, the recorded games, and a lot of people joining the tournament in general. Now, were you part of the tournament?
No, I wasn't. Unfortunately, I was in the middle of my university exams when the tournament was going.
Okay.
Yeah, last year of bachelor's, I didn't want to screw it up.
Yeah, that could be a mistake, but I mean, come on, it's a huge tournament. Gotta get your.
I wrestled with it. I wrestled with it greatly.
You gotta get your priorities sorted out. It looks like.
Mind you, I probably would have been knocked out after a couple of rounds anyway. I have not been very active the last couple of years.
Well, it's fun to give it a go anyway, to come out and play a game and be part of something that's so big in the community.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's great that this kind of stuff is going down, because I honestly thought that this game was long gone and dead, and some could probably argue that it is, but it's good that we can still organize these tournaments every year or so and get a good turnout from the community.
Yeah, definitely.
So the matchup seems to be, again, I'm about 20 seconds behind you, but seems to be Aztec versus Brit, which we have seen quite a few times on this tournament. We did see it on New England as well. I believe we saw Heroes versus, who was it? I think we saw this game with Heroes. Somebody in the chat could correct me, but the Aztec player did win. But I feel like that game was very probably not well played.
And that game was on New England?
Yes, it was. It's a good matchup, because although Aztec does hold the advantage on both land and sea, it's very difficult to fight Aztec on sea. It's one of those interesting situations where the British player, if he times his economy right, if he times his pushes right, can really do a lot of damage. It's hard to beat Aztec on sea when Aztec gets going, but if Boneng can get into a good economic position by the early mid game, he might really do well. And Boneng is a good player. His water maps are his specialty, and it'll be really interesting to see how he works. Garja, I've played Garja a lot, and I've played him on sea maps, and I feel like Garja is a very good land player. And although Aztec again probably do hold the advantage, I'm curious to see how this goes. I think it'll be very close and very exciting.
Well, it's always good to see a matchup. Now, hopefully the map is quite fair. It's always good to see a matchup that comes down to skill and decision making based upon your civilization, and using the civilization to beat your opponent. So we should be able to see a pretty good game from what I'm hearing from you on this New England map at these civilizations by these players. Both are very good players. This is the finals, of course, so these are top level players, the best players in this game right now. The score is 1-2, so let's see if Garja in this fourth game can tie the score at 2v2, and we're launching the game here, so here we go.
Yeah, no, this is definitely going to be a good game. You did mention that these are the best players. I probably should mention the people watching this stream know this, but H2O, who was the favorite for the finals of the tournament, he got kicked out after the semifinals after beating. Not beating, sorry, he had a bit of a conflict with Jigs, and I'm not going to get into that now. But Boneng did get all the way to the finals, and I will I'm not sure how many of you watched it, but Boneng did play against Goodspeed, and I believe he did win most of the games. Not most of them, but I think when the smoke cleared, he did win. He had more wins.
Sorry to interrupt you here, but it looks like the opponent asked for a restart in the game, and so Garja just says, okay, yeah, sure, and so we'll have a restart here. Yeah, now, can you quickly tell me, is there a way to get back to the lobby, or do I have to go back to the lobby and then join the game again?
Just hit quits, and you can leave, and then you have to rejoin.
Yeah, rejoin the game. I don't have the password, so I just have to wait for an invite from one of the players every so often here, which is kind of annoying, but cool. It's alright, no problem.
Yeah, so we are having a restart because Boneng's, he only had one hunt pretty much on his side, and it was quite far away, so we do have this problem a lot on New England. In fact, I believe in the Goodspeed Boneng games, they completely abandoned New England after 3 times in a row. They had They had nothing. But I would like to ask the chat and the community, what do you guys think of this matchup? There was one guy who said that he believes Brit has the advantage on C because of the economy. But I would mention that canoes on their own are much more cost effective than European ships. But Aztec also has the water dance, which is on the fire pit and gives them such a boost. It's so hard to compete with that. If Boneng can be quick, and this is something I've noticed is very strong in team games, but if he can throw some outposts onto the island, he might have a chance of holding water. But otherwise, it'll be very difficult for Boneng to fight Garja on sea.
Yep, and here we go, New England again. So they decided to start the map. So in the top of the map, we have Boneng in the blue color playing as the Brits. At the bottom of the map, we have in the red color Garja playing as the Aztecs. So it looks like they're going to restart again. The hunt was bad.
Yeah. There's a very strong possibility this will happen again and again. New England is a very bugged map. The top player on the Observer map tends to have a lot of problems. But hopefully we can get it started.
Yeah, so it's very nice that these players are saying, are agreeing with each other to restart the game. I'm not sure if that's, it sounds like that's sort of a common thing on New England map, but it seems kind of new maybe to people that aren't used to the concept.
I wonder how many people we have watching this game. Can someone in the who's watching the stream? Yeah, and by the way, I am reading the chat in the stream, so feel free to shout out any comments or questions.
Yeah, guys, be sure to type in the chat what you want to see, what you want better. I mean, you're spending your time to watch this stream, so I want to give you guys what you want to see. So be sure to type a comment. We can have it read there and relayed pretty quickly.
Yep. Yeah. Again, there's like a 10 to 20 second delay, but yeah, we'll definitely. I'm definitely reading the chats. Too sober. Yes, that was my Smurf, but by that point in time, I had kind of stopped playing this game seriously. I still play team games, but only with some Australian dudes and kind of on university holidays. But I feel like most of the really strong players who still play today are seasonal. A lot of guys like H2O and Goodspeed came out of a lack of a better word, retirement for this tournament. So we are going again on New England, and we'll see how this if we can actually get a game started.
Yep, it looks like both players have Hunt somewhat in their line of sight here of their town centers. A treasure of 60 wood here on the top of the map for the British player Boneng.
Yep, this looks like a fairly balanced map. It looks like we will get a start. Those hunts might just be a little bit outside of Garja's visibility. Oh no, what am I talking about? Sorry, he's got hunts. We're all good. and it is good. We are kicking off. This is good. I'm quite excited for this matchup. This is I feel a little bit of a I wouldn't say it's a rare matchup, but the circumstances are rare. On a land map on Great Plains, it might be very heavily skewed towards Aztec. But we have New England and we have Boneng, who's a very strong sea player, so I feel this will be an exciting match.
Yep, and as we do see, he does get that treasure there of 60 wood, as well as 40 coin here.
I'm not sure how it is in Age of Mythology, but I find Age of Empires 3 games a little bit slow, especially to start with. I mean, there's only so much you can commentate for the first 4 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, try to make it as exciting as we can.
Yep.
Sorry if I'm losing my voice here, kind of. I streamed for about 6 hours yesterday. 6 hours yesterday of 1v1 experts in Age of Mythology. But yeah, it's about the same, if not maybe even slower for Age of Mythology. So if you can believe it.
It does look like Boneng is going for an early trade post, which is not something I've ever seen from a Brit. Most Brits, if they get extra wood at the start, they'll go for a house.
Yep,
and even a market.
He does have that trading post up right now.
But yeah, this is really it's quite refreshing sometimes to watch Boneng play because he's got very unique build orders. And a lot of times with these high-level players, they kind of do the same build orders every game, and this was especially true with France. For about 2.5 years, all we saw in every 1 versus 1 was a Musk Hussar start. Now Boneng is walling off the the lower passing. Quite early, actually. I'm not even sure if he started aging up yet, but he is walling up the pass already, so this does confirm my suspicions that he will probably go for Fishboo.
Yeah, definitely. And as we saw on the previous map, not the game before this, but the one before that, he did take advantage of the water and boomed pretty hard on that game.
Yeah, but I would add that this is a completely different ballgame. Aztecs are very strong on sea. It's I would say it's almost completely imbalanced how strong they are.
So if you do predict that Boneng wants some water eco, is that a smart choice against a civilization like Aztec?
You see, that's why I said this is going to be a fascinating matchup, because normally I would say it's not a smart move, but if Garja does invest a lot of resources in fighting on the sea, Boneng's land economy can very quickly overtake it. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword for Garja. Does he want to let Boneng boom on sea, or does he want to fight it, or how much does he want to fight it? Because Boneng can decide on an instant to completely change his economy from sea-based to land-based, and it won't take long for him to see his land economies shoot through the roof.
Well, that's a good point, and we do see Boneng walling up the top side of the map as well as the bottom side. And what do you think about this this maze of wall here? Is that some sort of typical thing that looks sort of irrational to me?
I'm not sure. I think he's doing it. Actually, I don't know. I need to have another look at it. But that's a good question.
Like it
Maybe
just
someone in
doesn't.
the chat can.
It just
Can
doesn't make
hypothesize.
sense. Yeah, I mean, walls are the same for Age of Mythology, but it just doesn't make sense to me at least.
Mm, yeah. Again, I'm a little bit concerned. Maybe he's got some idea of how he wants to defend it. He can place maybe caravels on the top and.
Yeah, definitely. It would
Yeah.
be, it would be really cool to see that players using walls in unique formations to create their own choke points or things like that. It's definitely adds a creative ability to the game to show more skill. And we do see the
Well,
dock
what we
going
are
up.
having is Garja is putting his war hut right by the sea. So he is expecting a sea boom from Boneng. And he might be building a dock. Did you say he was building a dock?
Yep, he's building the dock right in front of that war hut there.
Alright, so yeah, what clearly he wants to do is grab sea quickly so that Boneng can't get a foothold. And this is a smart move. Because if he ensures that Boneng is off the sea quickly, then he can just really focus on land. And although Brit have a very good land economy, Aztec has a very strong military, and I've seen many times in this high-level play, Coyote Mace Puma combo really beating Brit. So, but at the same time, I've also seen Brit players do well against Aztec, so it'll be very, very hard to give the advantage if this does go on land. But I feel like this is a smart move from Garja. And
We see
definitely will take a lot of pressure off him.
yeah, double layers of walls here. Now what is this? This is gonna definitely buy time for the British player here, but what can he do with that time?
Well, it looks like he's going to really boom hard on land at least, if he's not going for sea. And this is probably a smart move because early game, Aztec military is so strong, and even mid game, Aztec has a very strong military. If this goes late game, however, it's going to be very difficult for Garja to fight off the late game British combination of musketeers and hussars, cannons, rockets. It's a very, very good late game combo. So I feel like Boneng is doing a good decision here. It's going to be tricky because he's invested a lot of wood into those walls. And he's really letting Garja know, hey, you have the whole map. You have as much time as you want. And what Garja could do if he was smart is get a lot of war priests to really boom his economy. And he might be able to keep up with Boneng's boom and perhaps even push early fortress. So this is going to be a very interesting game. It could go for quite a while, I must warn you. But,
Don't worry, I have time to put into these games, don't worry. Guys, in the chat, sit tight, we're about to see some action, don't leave.
Us Age of Empires players are very used to long, boring games, so I assure you that you have no reason to be concerned. But no, this is a highly going to be very interesting. It looks like Boneng isn't even... Oh, he is building a dock.
It looks Boneng is still in Age 1 here, so what do you...
Oh, wow, how did I not notice that?
Yep,
Oh my
I
God.
just noticed it now off chance. So it's 8:15 in the game, and he's still in Age 1. What does that indicate? A hard boom? It has to be.
It has to be, but he hasn't started. He hasn't even started aging up yet. So this is quite fascinating. I'm not really sure. This is a strategy that had popularity for quite some time, but I always found it to be a bit weak because the advantage you get early on is negated by the fact that you lack access to Age 2 cards, and you lack access to the 400 wood, and you lack access to military. So I'm not sure if this is the best move by Boneng, but hey,
Yeah.
we will see.
As we do see, he hits classical at 8:50 in the game, and Garja says, "LOL, didn't even notice." So I guess we weren't the only ones.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised. It makes sense though that he would build the trade post and the walls.
Look at these docks. Now you're gonna have to wait for 20 seconds for your mind to be blown at these docks here, but it will be, rest assured.
Yeah, there's some guys in the chat commentating that if you're going to build 2 walls, you may as well build 5. Hey, knowing Boneng, Boneng might as well build, 10 or... we're going to see a very... Oh, he has a lot of docks. This is going to be fascinating.
Yeah, 4 docks up. That was just amazing here. But the trading post, what does this mean for Garja here? He has the 4 trading posts up, and he's making this wall here in front of his trade line.
Yeah, the trading posts are good. Each trading post, when you upgrade to Stagecoach, is worth about 4 villages. So it's very definitely good for booming. 4 times 4, 16. That's 16 villager economy.
Yeah,
So
definitely a lot that you can abuse by having that extra advantage.
What Garja really has to do is, given the amount of docks and the amount of outposts he has on the shore, I'm not sure if Garja will be able to completely kick Boneng off the land, but if he just manages to continue doing what he's doing now, and that's kind of keeping his boats back and really ensuring that Boneng doesn't expand on the sea, he will be in very good shape. What I would really like to see from Garja is putting a war hut on the island, because that will be make it very difficult for Boneng to push out. It's very easy to defend the strait on New England, and if Garja plays his cards right, he will ensure that Boneng never gets on the sea.
Okay, so how do you maneuver your way over to the island? Do you build... In Age of Mythology, we have transport ships, so we just build the transport ships, put villagers, and pop them out. Is that the same kind of concept here?
All boats, except for fishing boats in Age of Empires, can transport units.
Okay.
So you could literally just hop a villager into one of his canoes.
Yeah, definitely. That makes it quite easier, actually, to have this middle advantage here. As we do see the ships out now for Boneng, pushing the canoes out of range. Maybe he's looking to expand a little bit on the sea, as he did have so many docks and investing a lot of resources in these boats here. He also has the outpost defending anything that might be coming from this location in the land or the sea here.
Yep, it's a smart move. Those outposts will make it impossible for Garja to really push on land. But I will mention that it looks like Boneng is going Fortress. Boneng did seem to choose the right strategy. I guess if Garja was paying attention, he would have been able to push. But now that Boneng has a foothold on the sea, he's going to have frigates out. And I don't think Garja's economy can fight frigates.
Yep, and as we see, Boneng, the first to put units on this middle island here. What did you call it before?
Oh yeah, just the island.
just the island, but he is building an outpost here.
Yeah, and if he gets those outposts up, he will have the sea. There's no way around it.
Now,
as strong as canoes are.
Yeah. Now, is this treasure on the island worth gaining, or what's up with that?
Oh, I mean, probably at one point, but it's not a priority for Boneng. He's
okay.
just consolidating the sea. And if Boneng does get the sea, it's all over. There's nothing Garja can do.
Yeah, in my opinion, he hasn't pushed his pressure. He hasn't pushed at the right times. Garja hasn't pushed at the right times on land to capitalize on the advantage that he did have. He does have some coyote runners over here trying to tear down these walls, but there is a double layer of walls, and it's just not doing enough damage to get to the base of Boneng to do some damage.
Can we have a look at each player's resource count and villager count in the post game?
Yep.
But yeah, as I was saying, this is a very good position for Boneng. I really think Garja played this wrongly. And it's often difficult for players because when you have sea, it adds a completely new dimension. A lot of players, and especially a lot of top players, really get stuck in a mentality of build orders, and it's very hard for them to deviate. And I myself are guilty of this quite a while, and both of these players playing are much better than I am. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this turns out. Boneng, however, is so skilled on sea. But he is facing an inherent disadvantage, given how cost-effective canoes are.
Wow, and even look at this villager count once it pops up on your screen for a little while here. You just it's going to become apparent that Boneng is going to win this game, and I don't think there's much that Garja can do about it. Both players did hit the Fortress Age around the same time, but this outpost on this middle island still holding pretty strong. And one thing I would like to mention that you were talking about is that when you get in the mentality of just doing the metagame build order, what you see in games, and I would assume this game as well, but Age of Mythology, is that the players that are good, they don't stick to a build order. They adapt. This is how I like to think of it. The better the player is, the more they adapt to. So the highest level players, they adapt, or the lowest level players, they say, okay, who's the civilization that I'm playing against, and they play accordingly. The next level players say, okay, who is the civilization I'm playing against on this map? And the highest level players, they say, okay, who is the player I'm playing against as this civilization on this map?
Yeah. I'm definitely thinking what Garja doing right now is great. He got the middle island, he's got the canoes. Boneng isn't pushing out unless he manages to fully upgrade his ships and really get a lot, then he might be able to push out on sea, but it's unlikely. But to be honest, he doesn't even need it. You saw, and everyone in the chat saw that villager timeline. Boneng does not need sea. He could push out and stomp Garja. So
As Boneng hits the industrial age,
somebody in the chat asked if putting canoes in the dock heals them. Yes, they do heal them, which is quite convenient, and it also protects them from ships, because a lot of times a frigate has a lot more, and the caravel has more range than a canoe. So they might come out and pop off a shot, then run back. So if you keep the canoes in the dock, it protects them, and it also gives the dock firing. So as we can see, Garja is really trying hard on sea. I don't feel like he should have pushed. I feel like he wasted a lot of canoes. He really could have just consolidated his position.
yeah,
As powerful as his canoes are, he doesn't have the economy to back it up.
Garja here having a lot of arrow knights up at this front, taking down this outpost with the long range that they have. He's just trying
absolutely. Arrow knights are fantastic, and it will be very necessary for Boneng now to start making a military, because he can't just make more outposts against arrow knights.
And we see some dragoons coming to join the fight in here, but with the right micro.
And dragoons do beat arrow knights. In fact, everything beats arrow knights. They're primarily an anti-building, anti-ship, and anti-artillery unit. But again, I'm really feeling bad for Garja here, because it's going to be a very uphill battle. He might win the sea, but Boneng's economy is just so dominant.
Yeah, in my opinion, the more Garja spends on the sea, the more he's going to lose. The weaker he's going to become in comparison, because of the land eco of and the civilian unit count of Boneng.
Absolutely, but this is what I was talking about at the start. It's such a difficult situation for Aztec, because you have to, if you play it accurately, then I don't feel it's too difficult. But if you do make strategic mistakes, like Garja seems to have been done, then it's quite difficult to come back. Garja wasted a lot of resources trying to fight sea, and he has no economy to fall back on. Boneng doesn't even need the sea. His economy is rolling, absolutely rolling. But where Boneng's strength lies, his weakness in a sense, because he's very good at defending, and what he needs to do now is push out while he has the economic advantage. Because although he doesn't have sea, he has such an economic advantage. The last thing he needs is for Garja to catch up to him, and that could equalize the game. So it would be good for him to really push out rather than continue booming. Well, he can do both. That's the thing. His economy is so powerful.
He is getting a lot of raids in, using these Hussar here, killing quite a lot of villagers actually.
And given how fragile his economy is, Garja's economy is, though losing those villages is not good. This would be a bit of a favorite strategy for Boneng. Push hard on, room hard at home, and then really raid a lot. And it can be very difficult for
Yeah, as the game goes
Garja
on, if Boneng just continues to do these sort of raid things and keep the army busy, if you're keeping the opponent's army busy, it's so many resources that he's expending just to make units and run around your units. If you could run circles around your opponent's units here, then you could just expend their resources and just push your advantage. If you up economically in this game, this is exactly what you do, and Garja just says, GG. He resigns. He couldn't push out on this on the sea. He saw that the raids were killing him, and exactly what we were talking about, what happened in the game. And Boneng played really well, I thought, and he comes out and wins the game.
Yep, absolutely. This is Boneng's domain. He's very good on sea maps, and it's not a big surprise that he won. However, the next game, which will be on Yukon, which will be quite close. Garja is a very strong and very aggressive player, and again, it's a bit difficult for Boneng to boom and defend on Yukon when there's a huge lackage of resources. As there is some talk in the chat, and Spadel said that Garja lost because he didn't adapt, and yeah, that's definitely true. It's quite difficult to look from our point of view, but it's a very confusing position for a player to be in on this map, because you know that if Brit gets the sea, it's all over, and you know if Brit booms on land, it's all over. So you have to play very precisely to ensure that he doesn't get the advantage on either land or sea, and that's just quite difficult. And it's not a reflection on Garja's skill. It's just unlucky, I suppose.
Yeah, you know what's unlucky is this name that chick hooked me up with there. It's a pretty unfortunate name I got here. You know what? I come on and I offer to help, and this is the name he hooks me up with.
It's a shame.
But you know what? It is what it is. And we're just gonna add one here for Boneng, so the score is 1-3. We're gonna get the next game going as soon as possible here. As soon as I get an invite to this game, maybe if I do. But the next game, what did you say was Yukon?
Yeah, Yukon, and we already see Boneng has 3 wins, and it's the first of 6 that wins the series and wins the very large amount of prize money. I believe the total prize pool is over $2,000 US dollars, and there's a certain way that it's split up. I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head.
I think it's 60% to the winner.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's good. It's the same. I suppose most tournaments are like that. Yeah, if you guys are in the chat are listening, feel free to comment in on last game and what your predictions are for the next one.
The next game is Yukon, right?
Yep.
All right. All right, so let me just transfer the map over here to Garja so we can get that handy dandy resource counter for you guys. I think that helps a lot. It just gives the players that are watching a lot more information about different strategies that the players are doing and what they can do with the resources that they have.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fantastic, and it's quite exciting that somebody managed to develop that. I believe it was Async, who developed the UI, but it's really, really good. I'm quite impressed. Somebody asked in the chat, why isn't Andes a tournament map? And the simple reason is that the Andes map is a bit too one-dimensional. You start off with a lot of hunts. There's no real geographical features. There's no... It's a very plain map, and there's not a lot of strategy. If you notice, most of the maps in the game are chosen for a strategic reason. With the exception of maybe Great Plains, you have New England, which is obviously very strategic. You have Yukon, which is very aggressive. You have Siberia, which is a primarily defensive map. What other maps do we have? We have Saguenay, which is a bit similar to New England in the sense that it's quite strategic. You have a sea map. If someone's in the chat, do you guys know what the maps are after Game 6? I believe Painted Desert is in there.
Yeah. I have the list, but I would have to look it up on the PK forums, and I want to not do that on the stream, maybe. But
right.
I can find them if it's not going to be a problem. And
I'm sure the players know.
yeah. But the score is 1-3 right now. Hopefully we can see a win by Garja to start coming back in this series. I would really like to see that happening, and I really think he can. He displayed strong gameplay in the win that he did get, so he has the ability to win. It's just about executing the right strategy, and a little bit of luck, I guess, comes into the games.
Absolutely, but I really feel that Boneng's experience will shine through. Garja has been a little bit inactive for the past few years. Boneng, on the other hand, has remained very active. To Deadly Demons Gaming, thank you very much for posting the rest of the maps. Yeah, again, as you can see, after Yukon, we have Yucatan, Painted Desert, Bayou, Mongolia, Himalayas, Patagonia.
Oh, great! Thank
you. Very, very unique and strategic maps. Apparently, if one of the users said, if you want a strategic map, play Ceylon. I'm not sure what you know about it, but it's a map where each person starts off on an island. Hallie, yes, I will be glad to teach you how to do a seat and rush. Sorry, 7up, I'm just responding to some of these comments.
Yeah, sure, I'm looking at the chat too, so. Sure, guys, ask anything you want. This is a good opportunity. Voodoo's looking at the chat, answering everything you want to see. So, like I said, you want to see something, let us know. We'll make it happen for you.
Oh, apparently, 7up use F1 to update the resource counter.
It's supposed to update every 5 seconds, automatically. If it's not doing that, just let me know, and I can figure out a way to change it so that it is updating automatically.
All right. Hallie asked, "How do you seat and rush?" And I would just like to say that if you head off to RTS Sanctuary, you'll probably be able to find a guide on it. Lancelot asked, "Who is the commentators?" 7up. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey guys, I'm 7up. I am part of the Age of Mythology community, so I'm pretty new to Age of Empires, although I like commentating, and I stream and commentate 1v1 expert games and expert team games for Age of Mythology, so I kind of know what's up, I kind of know what to look at, but then again, I'm new, so it's a real big help to have the co-commentator in here, Voodoo, so if you want to tell people who you are if they don't already know.
Yeah, so I'm Voodoo Boss. If you guys have been playing for more than a couple of years, I'm sure that most of you already know who I am. I was kind of dragged in here at the last moment by Chicks to commentate because he couldn't. Yeah, Venny couldn't commentate either because he was out for the weekend, so unfortunately you're stuck with me.
And me.
if another player wants to come in and commentate, I'll probably have to go after a couple games.
Oh boy,
But you're
that'll be it.
welcome.
You know what? I'm starting to get a hang of this, so this is uh this is a fun experience, and I always have fun commentating. Also, it's quite fun if you know what you're talking about, I guess. So I have a lot of fun doing the Age of Mythology stuff, and I've been trying to get a lot better at that game. Hopefully, I can get and become an expert one day. I mean, that's kind of the real goal that I have in that
Yeah.
game.
Well, it's a good time to start because the game has been out for such a long time that there's not a lot of experimentation left. All the good build orders out there, all the good recorded games out there. Soba asked, "How does one improve at the game?" And it's very simple, really. Just um, play a lot and watch a lot of recorded games. There's not
Watch,
really much else
yeah,
to it.
watch recorded games. I mean, I used to play Age of Mythology way back and way back in the day, and I was never very good. But I recently started up a few months ago, and I just watched recorded games for fun. I thought it was cool. I thought the strategy was cool. But so before I even played online, I watched a ton of recorded games, and I like to think, I came into the game before I even played one game at a 1650 level, just because I watch recorded games, and it helps so much. And one tip you want to know is just watch the first 5 minutes of a game. Say, okay, why does he move his villagers here? What is he looking to get when he does this? Every movement that these players do, if you watch an expert recorded games, has a reason. And your job when watching the recorded game is to find out what the reason is and what it's achieving. And just watch the first 5 minutes of the game. There you go. Watch another first 5 minutes of the game, and boom, pretty soon you're 1650 player and you're ready to go, beating people left and right.
Absolutely. Just quickly to divert back to the game, it seems that Garja has picked Eero. Would somebody in the chat be able to verify the civilization rules if he's allowed to do that? That would be great because I'm commentating this from.
Yeah,
Let
we
me
also
can't
have
switch.
Shamraz as one of the observers for the Japanese representing the Japanese crew, and he's pretty he knows all the
Yeah,
rules as
you're
well.
right.
So
He would be on that. Somebody asked, yes, Boneng is from the Japanese community. Uh, in fact, I forgot who it was, but somebody at the start, I was listening to there was a commentary hosted by Interjection and Venny and Ymir, and I think Ymir predicted that Boneng would go all the way to the top, and Boneng is a very good player, and as you can see, he's winning the finals, so it looks very likely that he'll win. Thank you, Deadly Demons Gaming. He posted the civilization rules up, which is good. So Garja is not breaking any rules. And so it looks like we will see Iroquois versus Sioux. And this is a match we saw Garja play against H2O on this actual map in the show match with H2O after H2O got kicked out of the tournament. And he lost this, but he was playing the Sioux. And I wouldn't, however, say that that's too representative of the matchup because I remember he had a very horrible map situation in that game. But it'll be very close. Iroquois is the stronger Civ, but Sioux has bow riders and Sioux has the map advantage.
all
So
right,
this will be
guys.
another interesting match.
Yep, and here we go, launching the game up. The score is 1-3 for Boeing. The map is Yukon. Spawning in the bottom of the corner in the blue color is Boneng playing the Sioux civilization. At the top of the map, we have his opponent Garja playing as the red color, the Uruguay.
7 Up, can you please click on the mines around each civilization, around each town? This Yukon does have a problem of usually having the top of the map skewed for golden ones, which are very strong. When it comes to hunts, however, the game does look very balanced. And when it comes to mines, it does seem quite balanced as well. Although Garja does have a gold mine close to his base.
Yep, and
It is a
so
little bit far out.
so does the Boneng. Both players have their starting gold mine here, and it looks about fair, the gold mines here, although it looks for Garja a little bit farther away.
Yes, but the one that's further out from Garja is a gold mine, which
Yeah.
has got twice the amount of coin as a silver mine.
Okay.
But again, the Sioux player, Boneng, does have access to closer mines, so I'd say it's about balanced. Definitely not worth rehosting. And Garja is going for a trade post, standard build order. Again, Garja is a very safe player. He really likes to go with the tried and true build orders. And
Yep.
Boneng, on the other hand, really likes to switch up his play a lot.
Yeah, and I think it's good for both players. Why? Because the build orders are a build order for a reason. People have spent a lot of time in this game, and they just come up with sort of the best opening strategies in different types of games. So, a build order, you might say, okay, it's boring, but there's been a lot of work finding out what is the best. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's and given this high level of gameplay, you really can't make a mistake. And given this map, you really can't make a mistake. You can't afford to take risks versus Sioux on Yukon. It's just not a good idea. But I'm curious to see what kind of strategies we'll see. Obviously, we'll see from Boneng bow riders. There's not much else you can do with Sioux. And what Garja will probably do, and to be honest, is really his only option, is just to do a strong warhut tomahawk in a rush.
Now he was able to convert that polar bear. Is that some kind of tell me a little bit about that.
Excuse me, can you ask again?
The polar bear was converted to his unit, so.
Oh yeah, that's just all Indian civilizations. So that's Iroquois, Sioux, and Aztec. Their explorers have the power to convert guardians.
Yep, the guardians of the treasures. So that's just something that I'm new to the game, so just sorry about that, guys.
If this was me playing, I would go for an all-out Seton rush as Sioux, because just Seton is so powerful. But Boneng likes to play it safe and go bow rider.
I'm sure all our viewers want to see a Seton rush. I think that would be pretty interesting.
No, absolutely. A Seton rush is a favorite strategy amongst the community. But unfortunately, Boneng will probably play it safe and go bow rider.
Yep, and we see 345 colonial age by Garja. He has this longhouse up here, which supports 15 population, if you didn't know.
Yep, and again, Garja had a very standard age up.
Yep, and we see Boneng just shortly behind at 4 minute.
Yeah, and again, there's a bit of an unfortunate delay in the stream.
Yeah, did refreshing do anything? It should only be about 5 or 6 seconds.
Nah, it must be like 10 or 15 seconds. Boneng still hasn't aged up for me, actually.
Okay. Really?
Yeah. Well, now he's up.
Huh, maybe there's a setting that I could change to fix that. But it's kind of good as well. Just because, the original delay is supposed to be 2 minutes, but we're making an exception here to bring some good commentary from Voodoo here. So it's a good that it's sort of in the medium here.
Yeah, absolutely. So Boneng is putting up a stable. Well, he's put up a stable. So it looks like he will be going bow rider. Garja is in a fairly defensive position for his war hut. I'm quite surprised. I would have liked to have seen him be a bit more aggressive. But yeah, I mean, he hasn't got a fantastic second hunts, so maybe he's just trying to play it safe. But I'm not sure how smart it is to be so passive against Su. And I'm not sure how smart it is that he shipped for Kenya, because no matter what Boneng ships first, whether he ships villagers or coin or axe riders, the Kenya don't really do anything. And Boneng's Kenya, not Kenya, Boneng's bow rider axe rider probably very powerful against a tomahawk.
Yo, a lot of tomahawks coming into this fight here, but it looks like Garja is being pushed out of this location, although he's trying to force it. He has lost quite a few units in this battle, though. And he is not happy with this.
Bow riders are very effective and powerful units. If Garja can keep up the pressure though, then Boneng could run out of hunts, in which case he's a bit stronger, but it's very difficult to beat a strong bow rider composition. Really, really difficult. And Garja comments, disgusting, honestly.
So it seems like the whole left side, or the top left side of the map, separated between these water areas, it seems a little bit inactive. Is that usually the case with this map in general, or does it expand out?
Yeah, I mean, usually people start expanding out there, but yeah, it's something that takes a while to happen.
Yeah.
A lot of times, a popular thing in team games is to really early move up there, because it's very hard to raid and such.
In a team game, both of the players spawn in the bottom here?
Yeah, you get 2 on the bottom and 2 on the top.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Or 3 on the bottom and 3 on the top. But what we have seen in this game is Garja has lost the initiative. Boneng has broken out and is raiding, which is not good. But he is lacking hunts, which is what I was talking about a moment ago. So it'll be quite interesting to see how Boneng plays this. If he can secure some hunts, maybe ship 15 bison, then he'll be in a very good position, but it'll be very, difficult. He's got to wait for a shipment. The populations right now are dead even at 48 and 44.
Yeah, another thing, sorry to interrupt you, but another thing to take into consideration is the mentality of these players. Like, you have to be thinking, okay, Garja has lost 3 straight games after winning the first game here, and he's got to be somewhat drained mentally after losing 3 straight games. So maybe his strategy, unfortunately might change depending on that mentality for the worse. It's something you always have to consider when assessing a matchup. But I believe Garja has enough confidence in his gameplay and in himself to make a comeback in this series. So it's just something to keep in mind.
Yep. Boneng, however, did ship 6 Seaton. And I don't know how Garja is going to deal with that. Boneng is lacking a lot of hunts, but again, there's still some Seaton. It'd be very difficult for Boneng, for Garja to deal with that. So Boneng is going for some more raids, while Garja is just building up a little bit more, keeping Boneng off hunts, which is a very smart thing for him to do. This is a really difficult situation for Boneng, actually, because he simply doesn't have any hunts. And Su don't have access to walls. So I'm very curious to see what I think would be good for Boneng to do is to pop up a war hut right near his hunts. That would really help him out. But yeah, it'll be quite difficult to see how this goes on. If Garja can really build up a strong force and push in a minute or 2, he might really be able to win the game.
He is forcing a lot of idle time from those villagers off of this silver mine here, which is always a win for him. He should just come back in with these units again, push them off, run back out, come back out. As long as there's no immediate threat going on in your base, it's a good thing to do to keep enemy. And as a nice raid goes down, a lot of villagers losing for Garja. Or he has lost a lot of villagers, sorry. My grammar is like really suffering here. But he's losing a lot of villagers. He's not doing a lot to prevent it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Boneng does seem to be getting the advantage here. And he has moved his villagers up top. Which will give them a little bit of respite. So it does seem like Boneng is managing to break out of this hold a little bit. Boneng, however, did lose a few bow riders, and that's never good given how expensive bow riders are, and given how sparse, how many sparse resources Boneng has access to. He has not shipped, but he's moved some villages to the mine up top, and Garja won't really be able to access those.
Yeah, it's definitely smart splitting up your resources. It's something that you have to do all the time, especially in Age of Mythology. Just talking from that point of perspective, is that if you split up your resources, you minimize the damage that you could potentially take from raids, and it's really just a really smart thing to do, as well as making sure that you have a consistent, constant flow of resources is also key to maintaining military production.
Yep, and we did see the bears come out there.
Yeah, Honcho the pet grizzly. Now I was quite fascinated. Just less serious of a note. Those bears look sweet.
They're deceptively strong.
I'm pretty impressed at what the work they put in on those units there, and like I almost want to just like play this civilization so I could make like a bear army and do like some kind of bear rush. Is that feasible? I want to make it happen.
It was actually when the game first came out.
No way. No way.
You would get 4. No, well, it's a shipment. It's not a
yeah.
You can't build them.
Yeah.
But when the game first came out, it was initially 4 bears. And everyone was just, shipping those bears immediately.
Ship the bears.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Garja's push did fail. And I really feel like now Boneng is going to shine.
Yeah, it's definitely not looking good for Garja. He's losing a lot of villagers to these raids. These the bow riders of Boneng are just tearing apart his economy back at home here, and Garja just says GG. He resigns. Yep. His initial push failed, and the raids from Boneng proved to be too much, and we have the resignation.
Yep, absolutely, and Garja being 3 games down, it's going to be very difficult for him to catch up.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can see him do it. It looks like Boneng gathered only 225 wood that whole game, so that's probably a key trait of the Sioux civilization, I'm guessing. You don't gather wood.
Yep. The good thing about Sioux is that you don't need to build houses, and because of that, you don't really need wood other than that for your stable.
And the KD here, the units killed versus units lost, is quite astonishingly 37 to 69. Quite a marginal win there for Boneng.
Yeah, absolutely. Boneng did very well that game.